Our Australian adventure with myself, Vidya, and Samyukta began with a brief halt in Hong Kong before we finally arrived in Sydney. We were greeted by showers on our very first day, but our positive spirit was undeterred. We headed straight to Bondi Beach, where the pristine blue waters and the beautiful coastline lifted our spirits. The walk from Bondi Beach to Coogee Beach offered spectacular ocean views and was indicative what lays in store for us. Circular Quay was particularly captivating and deeply nostalgic. It brought back memories of our earlier visit to Australia in 2002, where we had traveled to Australia for our honeymoon. Walking across the harbour bridge brought back those wonderful memories, while lunch overlooking the harbour bridge and the Sydney Opera House was an experience in itself. We spent almost the entire day around Circular Quay, soaking in the magnificent views of the harbour bridge and Opera House. With those iconic sights still fresh in our mind, we headed to Chinatown for some shopping and to experience the vibrant atmosphere. The following day, we made our way to Manly Beach with a boat ride from Circular Quay. We had a wonderful time exploring the area, doing some local shopping, and enjoying the spectacular ocean views. A leisurely walk along the beach promenade was particularly scenic and relaxing. The real highlight of our trip, however, was getting a rental car and embarking on a road trip through Sydney and Melbourne. Our drive to the Blue Mountains began with an exciting hands-on encounter with Australian wildlife. We then proceeded towards the Blue Mountains and were thrilled to see the iconic Three Sisters, one of Australia's most spectacular natural landmarks. Our road trip from Sydney to Melbourne was an adventure in itself, with stops at several beautiful locations along the way. As usual, Vidya ensured that we had high quality food throughout the trip, which made our long drives even more enjoyable. The sunset at Merimbula was particularly captivating. We continued our journey and finally stopped at Khan River for the night, and after covering nearly 700 kilometers. The next day, on our way to Melbourne, we visited Raymond Island, where we were fortunate to see wild kangaroos and koalas. By evening, we reached Melbourne, carrying with us a host of scenic memories from our journey across the Australian coastline and countryside. The next morning, we enjoyed a leisurely walk along the Yarra River, following by some shopping in the Melbourne CBD. We then headed to Brighton Beach, famous for its colorful bathing boxes. From there, we drove to Phillip Island, where the breathtaking ocean views left us spellbound. The Penguin Parade was another fascinating experience and one of the memorable highlights of our Melbourne visit. Our drive along the Great Ocean Road began early in the morning. We made several stops at beautiful towns and landmarks, including Torquay, Split Point Lighthouse, and Lorne. Along the way, the over-friendly cockatoos greeted us warmly, adding a touch of fun to the entire journey. Driving along the Great Ocean Road was an exhilarating experience. The winding roads, the dramatic coastline, and the spectacular ocean views made the drive unforgettable. On our way to the 12 Apostles, we were once again thrilled to spot wild kangaroos. Samyukta also got an opportunity to try her hand at driving and proved to be extremely helpful during the road trip. And then came the 12 Apostles. The breathtaking views of these iconic rock formations rising dramatically from the Southern Ocean looked almost like a wallpaper brought to life. We stood there simply absorbing the vastness of the ocean and the beauty of this spectacular Australian landmark. It was truly a sight to behold. On our final day in Australia, we visited St. Kilda Beach, where we enjoyed some of the most beautiful views of the sea. It was a fitting and splendid climax to an incredible journey. Looking back, this Australian road trip was not just about the destinations or taking perfect photographs. It was about the memories behind those photographs. It was about the joy of driving together, discovering new places, encountering wildlife, sharing meals, shopping, walking along beaches, and simply enjoying each other's company. Sydney gave us the grandeur of the harbour bridge and the opera house, along a wonderful sense of nostalgia. Melbourne gave us pristine landscapes, dramatic coastlines, and unforgettable glimpses of Australia's wildlife. Some days were tiring, some moments were missed, some photographs may not have been perfect, but perhaps that is the real beauty of travel. Because in the end, it is not the perfect photographs that stays with us. It is the laughter, the unexpected moments, the long drives, the beautiful sunset, the wildlife encounters, and the memories we created along the way. This was our road trip to Australia, a journey of driving, discovery, wildlife, scenic beauty, and above all, unforgettable memories.